amazing sled pull and push with the rope. So he's doing a really good job of sitting down into a nice squat and pulling hand over hand, one at a time. Once that gets all the way to you, you'll lock in and push it back, all the way back to our starting position. And once he gets it back to the top, he's gonna turn, come right back, and reset on his rope, sit down a little bit, and then go right back into it. Hand over hand, pulling to you. So now this is an incorrect version of doing this sled row. So he doesn't have control of himself. He's making really big turns and swings. And then as he gets to this sled, he's leaning in and really pushing with his chest in, making short steps. All right, so now this is our seated variation done correctly with Mario. He's got his feet straight out ahead of him, up tall, not compensating, and going hand over hand, pulling that to him nice and controlled. Again, you're gonna pull until this gets all the way into your feet, and then pop up, hands outstretched, and make big, strong steps, pushing that back all the way into the end zone. All right, so this is an incorrect way to do the seated pull and push. So you can see Mario's using his whole body and really yanking that sled one at a time. We don't want to use our entire body on this one. We want to make it really controlled one at a time with the arms pulling in. And then as he pops up, leaning into that sled, making short steps. Again, you always want to have those hands outstretched, making big, long, strong steps. This is a good thing with our rotational med ball slam. Mario's using his whole body to rotate back and forth. His hips are going to switch, and he's going to pivot and slam to the outside of that foot every time. Catching that ball and making a strong slam to the other side continuously back and forth. So now, this is kind of how we won't do the rotational med ball slam. So you can see Mario's being kind of slow and using mostly upper body, trying to drop that medicine ball, and then letting it fall to the floor and picking it back up. We want to make sure we do this exercise a little bit faster in total body, where he's catching it and taking it right back to the other side, back and forth. So this is our med ball box step up. So Mario's gonna leave his foot up top. The leg that's working is gonna do all of the reps at one time, and then we'll switch after he finishes and go to the opposite leg. We wanna make sure we're building strength, so we wanna keep all 6 on one leg, and then switch. We'll go to the opposite leg for that amount of reps. All right, so this is how we don't want to do this med ball box step up. You can see he's only pushing his toes up on the box, and he's switching back and forth, taking both of them off. We want to make sure with our step up that we leave that foot up top, keep it planted all the way up, and then just come down, step, right back up to that same leg. We don't want to alternate. All right, so now this is our med ball lunge slam. Same thing with our step up. He's gonna stay on that same leg for all of his reps, slamming right in front of his foot, and he's gonna step back and switch. On this lunge slam, we wanna make sure we're slamming outside the foot, or in front of the foot rather, and after we step. So we wanna step first, slam second. Step first, slam second. So this is an incorrect way to do this lunge slam. You can see Mario is slamming that ball before he steps, and it's inside of his foot. So this is going to be a little bit awkward and leave us unstable. We want to make sure that we step first out and then slam ahead of that toe and step back. Step first and then slam ahead of that toe. So now this is our incline alternating dumbbell press. On this exercise, Mario is gonna switch back and forth, pushing that dumbbell up. You can see that he's rotating that hand down at the bottom and then pushing up and rotating out at the top. So while we do this, you gotta keep one dumbbell up top while the other one comes down, and then switch. right, so now this is a way not to do that incline alternating dumbbell press. You can see he's punching up from the bottom and just swinging back and forth. He doesn't have too much control of his body, and this is going to be much more taxing than having him up top and coming down one at a time, keeping everything tight, and then controlling those dumbbells back and forth. So now these are mountain climbers that we'll complete right after we do our incline alternating dumbbell press. You can see he's got a nice good posture pushing back and forth. You want to drive the knees up and pause for a quick second and then switch and push back. All right, so this is not how we'll do our mountain climbers. He's got really short steps and he's just kind of mini pumping back and forth. We want to make sure we're down in a good push-up position and taking big, strong steps up and back, one at a time, driving those knees up, big steps. So Mario's giving us a really good hollow hold right here. We want to make sure that our feet aren't too far above the ground. They're right up top, right in line with our hips. And this ball is right back behind our head. This is a core exercise, staying tight right here. We're going to hold this exact position for the amount of time allotted. So this is how we don't want to do that hollow hold. Everything's a little bit too close. So he's got his legs up high, close to him, and that ball's right above his chest. When we do that hollow hold, we want to extend out. So these feet are going to be out right above the floor, and that ball is back behind the head, extended out wide, and we're holding tight right here. Okay, now this is our reverse crunch right after that hollow hold. So he's going to extend all the way out and then bring it all the way into that crunch position and reset. So we want to keep our feet above the floor and that ball above the floor for every single rep, going in and out. All right. So now this is how we don't want to do our reverse crunch. He's got a big space underneath arching his back, and he's shortened his extension out with his legs where he's just falling down and coming right back up. So when we do this, we want to make sure that back is pushed down, hips are touching the floor, and we extend everything all the way out and then bring it all the way back in each time without touching the floor.